Hi everybody, happy Christmas Eve. I thought I would put my update today, the day before Christmas, because we're all going to be busy tomorrow with our family and our friends and activities. So let's do it today. If you've never joined me before, I live in the Tampa Bay area and I've been offering this cocktail series here on YouTube for over a year now. I first started at the beginning of the pandemic in March of 2020, and it mainly was a means for all of us to have something to do. Me to get ready each day motivated me to get up, get myself fixed up, get myself in shape, and try and do something interesting. At that time, I was just modeling outfits. Every single day, I'd go into the closet and put something different on. And when you look back, they're really kind of silly, and they probably still are. But the cocktail is a big part of American culture and society. Not everybody drinks, but some people really do enjoy sitting down at the end of the day and just having a cocktail with their friends or their family, or just themselves while they're watching the news or before they have dinner. It doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. It doesn't mean that you're a drunk. It just means that you, in moderation, enjoy a nice cocktail, or a glass of wine, or champagne. Some days maybe nothing, just a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. But it becomes more of a social activity in the day. So, I was in the liquor store yesterday looking for some Lillet, which is a French aperitif, and I wanted to make a Vesper martini again. And I'm having one heck of a time finding this. So I'm walking down the aisles and I'm looking at all the different cordials and aperitifs. And I saw this. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Italian. So I would say, you would say Fernet-branca. It's an Amaro or Amaro. I'm not even sure if that's correct, but it's digestive. And when this was first put together itself, this mixture, I really don't know. So I have a little cheat sheet here. I'm going to read to you a little bit because I had never even heard of it before. It first appeared in recipes as a Fernet or Fernet cocktail in 1922. And then later on, it was renamed the Toronto. We don't know whether it was because it was popular in Toronto, like the Manhattan. Guess where that came from? Yeah, or the Moscow Mule, or the Singapore Sling. They were all based on location. So that's where their names came from. So whether this came from Toronto or not. And then this particular recipe is by a man by the name of Michael H. So let's give him credit for it. It's traditional. Now the recipe does call for Canadian whiskey, but I don't have any right now. I just have Crown Royal. What a shame. I know. Oh, let me go get my shot glass. I like to measure things accurately. So it starts, and this is a glass, just a pouring glass, mixing glass actually, with 2 ounces of Crown Royal, or Canadian whiskey, which is the preference in the Crown is a little smoky. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. I love Canadian Club, but there's a big difference in this and Crown Royal, and a lot of it is the layers and the depth in the whiskeys and how long they're aged. We could go on a whole course about that, couldn't we? But I'm no expert, so I'm not going to pretend to be one. 2 dashes of bitters. For me, that'll mean 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Regular bitters. And I am going to measure only 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. So I'm using my 1/2 ounce size. And then a 1/4 ounce of the Fernet or Fernet. somebody knows the answer to this, why don't you write it in the comments? Just 1/4 ounce. I had a taste before and I can see why. Now you know I love Campari, which is bitter. This is bitter. So it has a reputation of being an alternate Manhattan. This is in place of the sweet vermouth. But with the simple syrup, in addition, a lot of people think it's a different form of old fashioned. We'll let them argue about it. Let me get my long stirrer here. Hang on just a second. You want to stir this well. I have a glass stirrer, but don't ask me where it is. You know, that's one of the fun things about moving. You're so organized, you have everything packed, you have everything labeled, and then you start to unpack it, put away. Where is it? I don't know. It's around here somewhere. I used to have a beautiful glass stirring pitcher, but it got broken. Although Pottery Barn has them. So one of these days, I'm going to go splurge and go to Pottery Barn. Now, the suggestion is, from the author of this recipe, is to pour this into a coupe. But someone else who tried this said they use a big ice cube, you know, one of the big square ones, and then put it in a cocktail glass. So I'm just going to pour it right in the coupe. And I left the shaker top. Where's the shaker top? Over on the other side of the room. I'm not going there. I'm just going to do it this way. Ooh. Talk about measuring it correctly. Wow. Can you see that? Oh, almost to the brim. And then, as in an old fashioned, just a peel of orange. Right in there like that. All right, I'm going to confess, I haven't tried it before. That's me. I will look in a recipe book, and if it sounds good, I'll make it. But then I'll serve it to guests. And it could be awful. But that's just how I like to do things. So let's give it a sniff. All I can smell is orange. Oh, what's in the aperitif? It's a combination of herbs. Myrrh, saffron, chamomile, and ginseng. So here, bottoms up, let's give it a try. It's good, different, very layered, very complex flavors in this, but it's very much like a Manhattan to me. But you could also tilt toward the side of an old fashioned. So that'll go back in here, and I'll have that later for my cocktail. What am I doing this Christmas Eve? Not a darn thing. I went up to my sister's yesterday. We had our Christmas Eve last night. My son came over, and then she and I and two of her girlfriends in the neighborhood went out with our cocktails. She wasn't drinking and driving. The rest, three of us had our cocktails, and we drove around the neighborhood up there in Ocala and looked at the Christmas lights. We had a ball. And then after we came home and we watched Home Alone and laughed ourselves silly. So I came back this morning so I could do this. And I wanted to celebrate Christmas Eve and Christmas in my new home, not in someone else's. So what am I wearing? It's kind of a lounging set. It's tap pants. They're satin and red lace. The bra is all red lace, and I took the liberty of putting something underneath so it wouldn't be sheer and we wouldn't get in trouble with YouTube. And then this is just a duster. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's a snake print. And I'm gonna back up here so you can kind of see what I'm wearing, what else I'm wearing. I have on pantyhose, and then I have on the coolest booties. They're red suede, and that heel is all acrylic. Fun, huh? Am I gonna go on the dance floor with these? I don't know. So let me walk back again, and I'll turn around for you. Perfect for lounging at home in front of the fireplace with maybe a friend or your partner. I wish you the happiest of holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and whatever else you might be celebrating at this time of year, because there are so many fat faiths around the world just couldn't coalesce at this time. So thank you for being here, and I hope you come back. I always love to hear comments or see comments. Just remember, this is an open forum that anybody can read. So please don't write things that are inappropriate for YouTube, because then I have to remove them. And then sadly, there's someone that seems to be very angry with me and is trying to expose me in my real self. So I have to go through and take that away. That's the nature of the beast in being a creator. So I hope you will respect my privacy and my life as I will yours, but I welcome you into my home and part of my world so that you can see how this sexy grandma lives. Thank you for being here, and remember, 'tis the season to be kind. Namaste, my friends.